What is up, everybody? Nathan literally, I freaking blame him for being late. But we actually were just recording our rookie running back version 1 ranks. A lot has changed even since we did our rookie ranks, which was just 2 weeks ago. But lots of that ended up being like a 40-minute video. That's like the longest video we've ever recorded, I think. So just lots to talk about because it's a pretty good rookie running back class. But obviously, you know us, we're analytics guys, so we spend a lot of time talking about analytics there. So good to have you. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe. We're gonna take your questions tonight, and so if you want a team review done, I dropped the link up there, and I think a lot of you guys are kind of waiting until after the playoffs, which is totally cool. We also can drop the link to get your questions answered on the site, but we'll also just answer your questions in the comments because that's the cool thing to do. So here we go. I got this up. So Chris says, how's Zero Dark Avery's team doing? I know Amon-Ra did solid, and Gibbs Rip Monty carried me. Yeah. So Zero Dark Avery, we have 8 total players left to play tonight. So match hasn't been decided. I can't give you other spoilers outside of that. 2 words for you, Amari Cooper. So he exists now, which is fun. We thought he was going to be really good. Then he wasn't. And then all of a sudden he exists again. So, and when I say that, I obviously mean sarcastically because he went from legit 14 targets the week before to no targets.
In like a 80-point game.
Like literally nothing. So, it's obviously bad. So, what's up, Bajorans? Just did a startup. Let me know if you guys want to use that because I know you guys have been wanting to do a startup mock. Okay, yeah, just message me on Discord and send me the you probably the message I have waiting on Discord. So just send me the link to the mock draft and we'll take a look at it. But thank you, we appreciate that. So let me know. I mean, I'm assuming they can hear me because they haven't said anything more. Normally they scream at me when they can't hear me.
Right, yeah.
But you're still welcome to scream about whatever. But we're gonna do a lot. Again, we're gonna be answering questions, dropping some team blueprints in here. I don't think we have any to start tonight, so we should be.
We have a start sit question.
We do have a start sit question, so we can do that. I
Excuse you?
Almost said start shit. I didn't say it. So what's up, Bones? I accidentally just clicked on my own freaking link there. Bones says he thinks he has the best wide receiver room ever. Let's hear it. Brian Thomas Jr. Somebody didn't start him in a playoff game, and somebody started. Who did I start over him? Somebody's an idiot, and that somebody is me. Hard rebuild mode. How's JJ and Nico for a duo to build around? That's great. I mean, it's a great duo. Again, with your rebuild, it's going to depend on the rest of your roster, whether we would recommend downtiering from those guys or what. But if you have the capital and you have the type of team where you can build around 2 wide receivers like that, we love doing that. It's better than building around 2 running backs. So, love it. How's it going? I hope you all had some good matchups in the first round of playoffs. I did pretty. How did your playoffs go this week? I did pretty good. You crushed my dad in that league, dude.
I destroyed him.
Your team went off. I feel bad because he had the better team, and your team went bananas.
I've got the 1 seed next, who I don't even know who that is.
No, because Savannah won. Savannah beat him.
Oh,
Alec lost because Alec had the Ravens stack,
Oh,
and Henry didn't do anything. And Andrews had a touchdown,
That's
but
crazy.
he had a bunch of guys that didn't do anything
8
this
teams
week.
make the playoffs in that one. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, I did pretty well. I think I had.
I think I had 2 teams go
of the 8 leagues I had for redraft, 5 made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And 4 of them were playing. 4 of them were playing this week.
Yeah.
One of them was a best ball that I think I lost in, and then I lost another and I won 2. So I've got 3 teams left in the postseason going into the second round.
Yeah, I think I have 5 or 6, but I play in a couple more leagues, obviously.
How many leagues are you in?
I think my dynasty was 8 and my redraft was.
Sorry, I was going redraft.
8.
Purely,
redraft.
Purely
redraft. I think I have 3 teams left that are in the playoffs. Like I got
3 and 3 each. Yeah.
So and I think we're in the same leagues for those. So
yeah.
So they're asking about a mock draft. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm more than happy to do this. However, the problem is they still don't have ADP in here. They literally have no ADP. And so when I'll show you right now, you guys are going to have to be dedicated as frick if you want to do this. And you're going to have to be smart and you're going to have to use external ADP because as you can see, when you go to Sleeper and you pull up the ADP, there's still literally nothing. And so I think it's going to be super messy if we do a mock draft, but I'm willing to do it if there are 12 of you who think you are good enough and have the resources available to draft without ADP. Because we can't draft out ADP while we're live, but you guys are welcome to do it, and we can keep taking a look at it. So here's what I'll do, because, why not? I'll drop the link for a mock draft in here. We can let it run, and if it's good, hooray, and if it ends up sucking, then we'll just freaking cut it. Because I just think it's going to be, hard. But again, join the mock at your own peril, and, again, if you can draft without ADP, then then you'll be good. But there's the mock draft. You can jump in. We'll run it. We'll see how it goes. And if you guys, again, if we get Kendra Miller in the second round, then we're probably going to have to just say, yeah, probably not. But we'll see. Let's see your guys' skills. You guys are the best.
I don't know, man. That's quite
you guys
a
are the
prediction.
smartest Dynasty audience in the industry. So that gives you somewhat of an advantage. But we can try it. But we can keep answering questions here. Do you see a Chargers running back taking a running back or investing in JK? I think they'll probably take another running back there. Who do I see fitting in terms of, they're probably going to need somebody that's a little bit dual purpose, or they're going to need to sign a free agent that has probably good receiving upside. I think that what they could do is, just draft a receiving upside back. But we'll see.
Right. Loud
noises. I'm not going to say Start's perfect, but I love my team. Should I trade Drake London in 106 for Bijan? No. I would hold there for sure. So the mock's filling up. If you want to jump in, again, no ADP here, but we can do it, and we can kind of just take a look at how it's going. So Jaden Daniels, Gibbs, BTJ, Puka JSN, 101, 103, 105. Should I load up on running backs? It's going to depend on draft capital. With 3 top 5 picks, I would say in a 1 QB, you're probably going to be getting some running backs there. Jefferson, Nico, Amon-Ra, CD, Marv, Waddle, Rasheed is ridiculous. Yeah, you guys are smart. Sorry, Kendra was just the guy that came to my mind. I'm sorry. He's fresh on the brain because he might play this week. But yeah, still the best stream ever. Appreciate you, Nathan. What's up, buddy? This is my favorite Nathan, by the way. This guy, he's my favorite.
Oh, I can't blame you, honestly.
Yeah. He's just, I don't know. He's just got a better vibe to him. But
Nathan Smith, that's like the
that's
the American version of me, because Schmidt.
That's true. It is. Yeah. It's also the most like American like white person name you could ever have. Nathan Smith.
Dan Smith.
That's another one. That's another one. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more. Again, you guys are willing. We are willing to let this be on the screen and talk about it and go through it if you guys can draft without ADP. But you're gonna have to have 2 more guys jump in the sleeper mock draft. The link is right here. I posted it in the comments. So, can you draft? Are you good enough to draft without ADP? That's what the question is going to be.
Yep. And while we're waiting for it to fill, you want to answer the start sit question?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Boop. All right, it's from Charlie. Currently in second, trying to pick the best matchup. So at running back here,
I would assume this is for next week.
I guess so. I mean, it's 17 hours ago. But yeah, I'm assuming I would go at this point. I go B Rob. I have him highest this week. With the wide receivers, I feel like you have to start Ryan Thomas at this point.
You have to. Yep.
And then your flex, I would probably go. It's DJ Moore.
I would go DJ Moore.
I think I would go DJ Moore there. So yeah, that's how I'd fill it out. So all right, there we go. Good luck. Let's see if you guys can do this.
Best of luck to y'all. Giving you a minute each pick.
Make sure that everything's on correctly here. All players, 3rd round. Yeah. All right. We'll see how you guys do. I'm curious to see. But we can keep this up while we're kind of taking your questions. So if you have a Dynasty question, you can go ahead and drop it down. The other thing that we will offer, obviously, tonight is going to be team reviews. Team Blueprints.
Blueprints.
The original Team Blueprint. And so I'll post a link if you want to get your team reviewed on the stream. Obviously, we can guarantee if you want to get your team reviewed tonight that it will be done tonight. So that is the nice thing about doing Team Blueprints live. But Lamar at the 101, we're off to a good start here. And so you can just follow the link, submit on the site. You can submit trade questions, start sit questions. But again, we'll keep answering your comments. So drop a like, drop a comment, and we'll talk about it all. So, all right. Josh Allen at the 2. So far, so good. So we just did our rookie running back rankings.
So good so far.
I'm curious in the comments, I seriously, give us an answer on this. Do you think it's a bad thing that Nathan and I don't like go through and give you our film analysis for guys, but we're more analytics based? Do you think that's a bad thing, or do you like it more analytics based? We try to make it to where our opinions
are more informative than like just shoving our opinions down your throat all the time.
Right. I want to make sure kickers is on. Because basically, if you're drafting here, kickers are rookie picks. So the first kicker is the 101, the second kicker is the 102, etc. So make sure you keep that in mind. Who is equivalent to the 101 in value? Right now, I mean, the guys at the 1-2 turn, right? And that's where Genty's going to go once he gets drafted.
That's where Genty will go. He'll be back-to-back with Bijan, I would assume.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at guys in that range. It changes a lot. We're about to find out, though, in this draft. See, okay. Whatever. Like, that's why it's going to be hard to do this, but because the auto picks are terrible. But that is why we can't really do this. So that's sad but true, because we want to do it, but what percentage? What
Sleeper just like quit.
Yeah, they just basically stopped.
Existing.
What do you think percentage chance Travis Hunter plays full-time wide receiver in the NFL? 25%, maybe.
I think it's pretty low.
Yeah, I think he's more likely he's a cornerback. So
and probably he won't be drafted as a 1. As a wide receiver 1, he'll probably be drafted as a second or third option.
Should we consider trading Chase Brown before the NFL draft once the regular season ends, or is this draft stacked at running back? Or since this draft stacked running back, I honestly think he's a decent hold. I don't think the Bengals are going to go out of their way. They have way bigger issues than freaking running back. So you like info on guys who can't watch everyone, then yeah, we definitely can give that. Where do you think Genty will be valued next to Gibbs or Bijan? I think he'll be probably. Who says he won't be the running back 1? I think he's going to be in that top tier.
Yeah, I think he'll settle behind Bijan. That's just my personal opinion. Ahead of Gibbs, landing spot dependent, obviously. But if you've got Genty going to Dallas, everyone's gonna rank him over Gibbs, just because of the situation.
Yes, so it's gonna. I think he's going to be in that tier. And it's good to know if the prospects are running hitch routes, especially for fantasy points, but numbers are good too. And so we have that, but we have numerical representations of receiving usage, and we very heavily lean into that. And so that is important. And we're just analyzing it in a more objective way. That's how cults are formed. If you force opinions down our throats, which that's not what we're here to do. We're here to help you freaking win. Nice to have a balance of both analytics and film. I agree with that. It's not like we haven't watched these guys. Like we watch a lot of college football, but.
And we do, once we get deeper into the offseason, closer to the combine, we do get a chance to see a majority of these guys, like a good chunk of what they do on the field. And then we'll tell you, our opinions and stuff on them. And that'll shift our ranking within a tier. But again, you're not going to see many guys that we rank independent of the analytics, tiers above or tiers below where they're analytically placed.
Yeah.
Based off of our metrics. So that's just the way we roll.
Yeah, and so, let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Who is your guys' favorite rookie running back outside of Ashton Genty? I think there are a couple acceptable answers here, but
and some sleepers that you might think we're sleeping on as well. Not named Woody Marks. We know about Woody Marks.
I'm not sure when the running backs video will come out. Probably Wednesday, if I had to guess, because
It's a long one.
Yeah, it's a long video, so
it might be Thursday.
Start sit. I put up 47 points in the playoffs. Only defense to go. I'm playing against Drake London. Should I bench my defense, which is Chicago? You're up 47. Should you? Yeah. And so basically, do you think you're going to get negative points? I would just play them. I think it's fine. The odds that you get negative points are very low. They're a decent defense. JT a sell at the end of the season. Depends on what you can sell him for. He ideally would have been a sell, 2 weeks ago, but Caleb Johnson, Caleb Hampton. These are the two guys. Those. That's the A tier for us. Spoiler alert, but yeah. But yeah, is this a Superflex mock? It's supposed to be a Superflex mock. Yes.
Caleb Johnson's metrics just continue to stagger me.
It's insane.
Every time I see him, I'm like, what in the world?
You'll be fine. Lions fans, you'll be all right. You still got a team that's going to be, and a coach that's still going to be there at the end of the year, for real. Yeah, but George.
This is how Dan Campbell makes his money, is
Johnson.
In times of
Johnson
tribulation for the team with all these injuries, he's just going to freaking kick his team's butt, and they're going to fight.
I'm telling
they'll
y'all,
find themselves in the NFC Championship.
I think that Caleb Johnson. I think he's ridiculous. I think he's going to be so good in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% with you guys there. His bakery metrics are ridiculous.
Wonders on the Chargers. Yeah, that would working wonders on the Chargers. That'd be a real nice landing spot for him.
Yeah.
Anyone with Greg Roman.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if the Chargers draft one of Hampton or Johnson, it's over.
What's Jim Harbaugh's history of drafting running backs? Does he do it? High profile running backs?
He didn't really have to when he was in San Fran.
I know.
Because that was, first of all, it was a different age. They were willing to just give Gore everything.
They didn't draft Gore, but Gore was there forever.
Right.
And
that's what I'm saying. I think Gore was there the entire stint from when he took the job to when he didn't have it.
Yeah.
And again, there was in a day and age where Frank Gore was just a massive tank, and he just took every single. I mean, the dude's top 10 in all-time carries. Just picked up Brenton Strange. Is he a stash or what? He could be a stash. Yeah, it's going to depend on Ingram. But I think he's a good stash. I have 3 firsts in 2025, most likely the 101, 105, 106. Would you trade the 101 and Tyreek for Malik Neighbors? I would probably hold there. I think the 101 and Neighbors are equivalent right now. So, assuming the Giants get Shedeur, that's very possible at this point, and probable, I think, even if they end up with. I mean, I don't know. I guess Travis Hunter could easily go number 1. So, I guess we just don't know. But assuming that the Giants do take a quarterback, I think Shedeur is a very likely option, and I think I would hold though. I think I want to hold that 101 and get a little bit more value for it. I'm seeing Gibbs overall running back 1 for the rest of the playoffs, and is Saquon okay? Saquon's fine. He hasn't had touchdowns. He's going to get touchdowns. He's going to score again. Gibbs, I had him ranked as the running back 2 this week. So the rest of the playoffs, this next 2 weeks, he's running back 1 or 2.
He's S tier every single week through the end of the season.
And you're not again.
And you're never not starting.
You're never not starting.
Even when Monty was playing, his ceiling is just raised. So
yeah. Should I trade Bucky right now for a mid 26 first? I think he's worth more than that right now. I think I would hold just market value wise. So
hey, don't look now. Speaking of Cleveland, which you haven't read the question yet, but Judy's a wide receiver 1.
Jeez, man, that's insane. So as you can see, this draft is a little bit of a crap show. Bowers going high is interesting. Puka going in the first round before these quarterbacks is interesting.
Bowers is interesting, but also accurate.
It is accurate. That's where he's being projected right now. Charbonnet's not going to go there. So I think we've already got a guy on full automatic right here. So shout out Bushwhacker. What do you think about Genty to Cleveland?
I'm not going to lie. There are not many situations that I would utterly hate for Ashton Genty. There are some that I like more than others. Cleveland's one of those ones that I'm kind of neutral on. I don't think it's a bad place for him to end up.
Yeah. You meant trade for Bucky. So for a 26 first, yeah, I'm doing that. That's a market value win right now. Unless you're a rebuild, unless you're a hard rebuild, then no.
Yeah. That'd be such a Cleveland move to draft a running back.
So nobody's drafting kickers in this, which is fine, but so I guess I'll just turn that off.
So
I hate sleeper.
As it stands, the Giants still have the number 1 overall pick, correct?
Yeah.
So Shedeur is essentially, unless Shedeur from a prospect perspective falls dramatically, you would assume that's a lock, that Shedeur is probably going to go to the Giants.
Right.
Or if they get any wins here. Their schedule, the Giants have Atlanta, the Colts, and Philly. They're probably going to lose all of those.
Yeah.
So you would assume they'll lose out. At best, beat the Colts because the Colts would find a way. But after them, right next to them is going to be Carolina, who's not going to be in the market for a QB. They're not going to draft anyone this year over Bryce.
Yeah.
New England's not in the market for a QB. You've got Vegas and Cleveland and Tennessee that are all going to be in the market for a QB.
Right.
And they're going to be duking it out for the 2nd overall pick.
Yeah.
So if Cleveland, because him asking about Cleveland made me think, do you think Cleveland drafts a QB? Do you think they take a shot on Ward?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Ward's going to go high, in my opinion.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's possible.
I just wonder which one of those is actually going to shock people and not take a quarterback.
Yeah. So the Chargers trading up for Genty would be ridiculous. Do I dare start Bateman over Amari Cooper next week? Yes, you do start Bateman over Amari Cooper. I'll have Bateman ranked higher next week. Bateman's, he's just a high upside, a touchdown guy.
Boom bust.
Yeah, boom bust.
He's a Gabe Davis.
Is
what Gabe Davis used to be.
Although how is Bowers not a round 1 startup pick and tight end premium? Because in Superflex leagues, the quarterbacks are still going to carry there a little bit.
In a 1 QB, Bowers would be going in the first round.
Absolutely, right? Yes.
But also keep in mind in tight end premium, the way that we grade tight ends and tight end premium versus just normal is not that much different because, again, you've got the same level of impact across the board for those elite tight ends. The value of the elite tight ends, again, just the gap between the top 4 to 5 guys versus the rest of the field at tight end is just going to be more significant, I guess. But like Trey McBride, honestly, is pretty dang close to Bowers in terms of like if you're really looking at tight end premium, like extreme tight end premium because his target volume is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah. Bakery.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how good it looks on this.
You're gonna give him a little peek.
Yeah. All right, we can look at this in a minute. But this is the question. What are your thoughts on the Ohio State running backs? I've seen Judkins comparisons to Hampton, but Travion reminds me of a bigger Aaron Jones. Yeah, I'll save most of our analysis for the video because we go into this in depth in the video. I don't think Judkins is Hampton. I think Hampton is much better. It was much more proven from a production standpoint, in my opinion. But Travion, I feel a little bit safer about right now. That's just how I feel right now. But again, we haven't seen the full gamut of these guys' capability because they are playing together. Quinshawn, obviously, we saw him at a different school, but it was breakout and then it was disappointing, right? And so we don't really know. Again, when these guys are on NFL level offenses, because at Ole Miss, he was very good his freshman year, and then his sophomore year he was good, but he wasn't as good. And then this year he's obviously been good, but his usage is cut in half. Mm-hmm. And so, that's interesting. When you're looking at the bakery right now, and so this is the prospect model you guys have never seen, but we're going to start showing you a little bit more of it. And hopefully maybe make it available to you. Travion Henderson here, projected 3rd-round draft capital, is higher than Quinshawn Judkins, as projected 2nd-round draft capital. So analytically, from a production perspective, the algorithm likes Travion Henderson better, which I totally understand at this point in time. So this guy continues to just screw us. Oh,
I don't know. Kendricks slaps.
Yeah, it's true. This is a decent pick. Yeah, this is what we're looking for, I think, in Dynasty assets. So.
Yeah. 33 is
will you check
not even middle age yet.
PTU says submitted for a blueprint, but not sure it went through. So will you check if we got it?
Yep. No, I already pulled it up.
Oh, we're good. So we are good to go.
Yep.
All right, cool. We will knock out your blueprint here in just a second. So we'll keep looking at this. So there are some interesting things here. Addison went early, but never mind. That's that guy. That doesn't matter. There was another one here. Bo Nix in the early 3rd is interesting to me.
Not incorrect.
Not incorrect.
Early 3rd.
London's still going early mid 3rd. BTJ 212, which I think is going to be probably where he lands. JSN's up to the 3rd, which I think is appropriate. Terry and Saquon to obviously go in the productive veteran route here. I don't hate it. I wonder where Terry's value settles this offseason. That's still great value for Ladd, in my opinion, right there.
Yeah.
Brees has really fallen. His value is going to be interesting this year in Dynasty.
Ooh, man, that's
really fallen.
That's like post ACL injury Brees value right there.
I like Mayfield. I like Purdy in the 4th round as quarterback options, especially when you went no quarterback up top in a super flex draft. I really like that. So for keeper league, starters Jaden Daniels. Should I also keep May, Nix, or Herbert as a backup?
Holy crap, the Jets are going to suck next year. I just thought about that.
You could keep Drake May as a backup. I don't know. Which one would you keep as a backup there in a keeper league?
May, Nix, or Herbert.
Yeah.
Probably the highest upside guy. So Nix.
Yeah. That's what I think. Nix or May. Where do you guys value Tyler Warren? I was looking at trading it for Trey McBride, but wonder if I should hold. Tyler Warren, I think I think if you can get McBride is what we hope Tyler Warren is. I think I would take the proven guy there. I like Tyler Warren's upside, but again, McBride going in the 3rd round in this particular draft, I do think that's worth something.
He'll be going higher than that.
I think so too. His targets have been ridiculous this year.
He's gonna break 1,000 probably this upcoming week, and since his run, he's been getting 10+ targets a week.
Yeah,
not even close.
So Walker, Higgins, Flowers. So this is actually going pretty well outside of this one right here. Mm-hmm. Everything else has been good, and then this one right here, but that was an accident, he said. So you guys are doing good here. Walker would have been as high as early 3rd earlier in the season. He's already back down to 5th, which I think is where he should be. So
a lot of these picks check out.
Pickens has already fallen back down a little bit. Like, I think Pickens could end up higher here.
I don't know. He might miss the rest of the season.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But we're gonna have to have an actual conversation about Pickens because we were the first people to say we were wrong about Pickens. He was actually on track for a very similar season to what he had before. Like, you didn't. Mm-hmm.
There's
the red zone targets
big discrepancy between when Fields was playing and when he wasn't, though, and that was like a solid 6 games.
That makes sense. Bro, look who it is! Freaking my boy Hummels, who I did tell him he wasn't around enough anymore because it made us sad. Yeah, and he caught a live stream. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
And yeah, again, we're getting back into dedicated Dynasty season. After Christmas, it's Dynasty only, baby. And so only Dynasty. So I'm so excited you're here. Then there's Anna. And Anna actually is sitting right over there. But Anna's glad you're here, too. And she needs to know where you've been. That's what I've been saying. We know life happens, though. And it's busy during the NFL season. So
Very busy.
Jesse says, would you trade Achane for Ashton Genty if he goes to Dallas or the Chargers? Or is that nuts?
No, that's not nuts.
Achane's yards per carry is scaring me. Why? Because it's not at 13 this year. I think I don't think that's crazy. I think Genty's going to have more market value. I love Achane, but I think that's a really good price to trade him for. I wouldn't trade Achane in a lot of circumstances.
Achane is RB7 this year.
He's been very good.
Yep.
He's just good. He was good. He's just good. He's just a good player.
That receiving usage is great. He's got 500 receiving yards. Actually, you know what? As bad as he's been on the ground, he might eclipse his rushing yards with receiving yards this year. 70 receptions on the year for 509 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's better in the air than he is on the ground.
That's what I'm saying. That's where his production is coming from. Like he's legit a receiving back, which they use him in the slot too. He's just, is that our biggest miss ever? You think?
As a prospect probably.
Miss? Yeah. We learned a lot from that one.
It's between him. We learned a lot from James Cook too.
James Cook. And I'm honestly, one of the lessons I learned last year was with Bucky. Bucky was kind of a case where it's like, I know that's possible.
Bucky was a low key one.
Yeah, because we learned to be not as adamant about it, but we just
learned,
didn't
we
like
learned
him.
to be not as adamant. We didn't like him specifically, but we were starting to warm up to taking shots on day 3 running backs pretty consistently because of what the analytics were showing.
In an 8-team home league playing against children, who to start? Kyron, Gibbs, Chuba, Bucky, Brees, Aaron Jones for running back.
Our best take was Penix.
Gibbs for sure. Right. Gibbs for sure. Kyron for sure. And then I would probably at that point go Chuba or Aaron Jones. With Bucky being banged up, you just don't know. But Bucky's obviously a top 12 option when he's healthy. Puka would be my number 1 there. Nico would be my Nico and CD Puka. Well, those are the 3 then. So,
yep.
Terry in the early 3rd before Downs. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. We're name dropping. He still hasn't gone. He's going to go. Again, we just don't have ADP, but he's going to go here, right?
Yeah.
Now let's look at the most recent Bushwhacker pick here. I know. Anthony Sherman. Obviously, great player.
I mean, he's not even close to being middle-aged yet.
No, he retired 4 years ago. But he does still have some longer-term... I mean, in case... He could be Andrew Luck and come out of retirement, right?
Facts.
Chase Brown goes in the 6th year.
Never did.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know. I haven't forgotten. So
cool.
Just spacing out a little bit.
Hummels has a question.
Oh, Hummels. Here's a question. Dynasty 1-year reload, no trade deadline. Posted this in one of the league chats. I have Gibbs. What would you want for one of the 4 teams left to sell him? A top 12 asset.
Yep.
That's it. Like, that's all you can. And so when you're looking at this draft, what I would want is
Puka,
Lamar, Allen, Daniels, Chase, Jefferson, Hurts, Puka, and then maybe CD and Burrow, and that's pretty much it. I think Gibbs could be as high here as 1-2 turn. He's that good. So I would not trade him on the cheap by any means. You could also just consider down tiering though. I was
gonna say I'd probably rather down tier.
Down tier to Achane would be nice.
Achane plus.
Down tier to Barkley plus if you're contending next year, which you're 1-year reload, so that would be a good trade for
Nico
you.
Marv
but he's
plus.
probably on a contending team.
Nico Marv or London plus isn't bad.
That would be good too. This one's a good one. Do you have any super sleepers coming out of the draft that we should keep an eye on in rookie drafts? I wouldn't say we do. The problem with the Dynasty community now is they don't allow super sleepers anymore because everybody's high on everybody.
Right.
So people go out of their way to try to predict the sleepers. And so it's like, well, I like Devin Neal a lot, but I feel like that's not a super sleeper anymore. Like
I feel like we're more into my guys than we are sleepers because that's easier to kind of be objective about, as in this guy is objectively a guy that I'm going to elevate regardless of what the analytics say to a certain point.
Sure.
Whereas sleepers are I don't know, this guy could do something. Yeah, he could. He could also not.
Right.
He could also not. That's right. But yeah, we have multiple My Guys. We're going to come out with a My Guys video here within the next couple of weeks, probably around the holidays. But we've got a list of 7 guys that we're pretty big fans of.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask the question in the chat. I want to know who your sleepers are.
Yeah.
You guys know just as well as we do, right? I mean, we just spend more time on this. Like, who are your sleepers for the 2025 class? Do you have any? A suggestion for 2.0. Trade suggestions when you suggest a player plus. Could you let us know what kind of plus to look for? We could probably do that in the suggestions and comments area, couldn't we? When we have pluses, we could specify there. That's a good suggestion.
Yep.
Yeah, where we could give value-wise. Like, my team's crazy. Burrow, Stroud, Marv, Higgins, and Pickens. That's solid. 5 QBs on this roster. Kyler, JJ, T-Law, Bryson, Stafford. Who should I sell versus hold? Hold T-Law, hold JJ. You could sell Stafford to a contender. You could sell Bryce if you don't believe he's going to keep going up. And you could sell, you technically could sell Kyler, but I think I would lean hold on Kyler as well. He's in win now mode. And you have the 105, 106. Yeah, I think here, then you would... I don't know if you're going to get enough for any of the guys you needed to sell here. Because, I mean, you could theoretically sell J.J. McCarthy to a rebuild and Bryce Young to a more of a rebuild. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Xavier's sleeper is Alec Iomenor. We actually had him in our first rookie draft guide that we posted on the site.
That's a good one.
Out of Stanford, wide receiver out of Stanford. He's got some nice
Honestly,
metrics.
I don't think he's going to be a sleeper. I think he's going to be he's going to be our wide receiver, maybe 5.
Is he a senior?
No, he's a junior.
Junior?
Pretty sure. I think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver for us. He's only played 2 years.
Well, it's got to be more than that because you can't declare if you're a true sophomore.
So he's probably he jumped
sophomore.
up.
He's probably a redshirt sophomore, which is why you can declare.
He is a redshirt junior.
Oh.
So yeah.
So how old is he?
So he's how old is he?
How old is Alec Iomenor? Well, let's look in the bakery.
Yeah, true. Facts.
Hello, bakery.
He's pretty high in there too.
Here we go. Okay. He is 21 and a half.
Yeah. So he's young. I'm telling
he's
you,
he's a true junior.
He's a guy that I don't think will be a sleeper. That's a good call. Woody Marks, I can tell you right now, he's not going to be a sleeper in the Dynasty community. Everybody loves him. We're going to be lower on him until we see his combine and his draft capital. But obviously, a lot of people like Woody Marks because he's got a very good receiving skill set. Jalen Royals, I love. I also think Jalen Royals might not end up being a sleeper because Royals he has a very good skill set, and he could end up getting second, third round draft capital.
He could
for sure. So I think all these guys again, like it's hard to find actual true sleepers because they really don't exist that much in Dynasty anymore. But I love Jalen Royals. And Iomenor, I'm a big fan. I think in a more shallow wide receiver class, he could be a good depth option, good second round guy. Is DJ Moore at the 7-1? Is he a buy? If he's going at the 7-1, abso-freaking-lutely, he's a buy right there. You can see him right here. And DJ, he's on a big contract. Caleb Williams is getting better. They're going to bring in a dedicated offensive coordinator to try to make that offense better this year.
Bye-bye Keenan Allen.
Bye-bye Keenan. It's going to be, DJ Moore and Rome Odunze are going to be big buys this offseason, both of them. I'll let you answer this one. Is Waddle sell or hold?
Oh, boy.
Waddle's a curious case. What did he... Out of curiosity, let's look at yesterday. Because...
I don't think he did anything. Tyreek didn't do anything either.
He had... He didn't... He literally did nothing. Literally did nothing.
Oh, my gosh.
Dang. Tua didn't have a great game either, but...
No.
Dang, that's David Montgomery right there? That's insane.
Well, let's actually answer the question. He's definitely not a buy.
He drafted DJ Montgomery.
Jalen Waddle, if you have someone that overvalues him right now and still thinks that he's going to break out and be crazy next year, I'm not against selling him. The reason I'm not against, I'm not going to say sell low because I don't think this is low for Jalen Waddle. I think people are just coming. I knew
that. Waddle got injured yesterday. That's why.
I think people are starting to come to realize that Jalen Waddle's outlook from an upside perspective for the next 2 to 3 years is not what they thought it was. So I think he's more being valued accordingly than being shorted. So I think this is, again, I don't really categorize it as like if you're selling Waddle at price right now, I'm not really categorizing it as a sell low because I just don't see him skyrocketing much higher right now with the amount of receivers that are dominating the league that are producing and getting more consistent target volume than he is and really ever has since he came into the league.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have the one-on-one and you want to tier down, what's the best time to put it on the trade block? It's a good question. Most likely closer to the draft after the combine. The month between the combine and the draft is
Hello,
prime time.
CMC.
Yes, I know. He went. Again, that's decent price for Christian McCaffrey there. Yep. I liked it. It's where he's going to be going, I like that. Appreciate you, Booty Clap King. Harold Fenton Jr. was interested producing that much as a tight end. So he's a sleeper for you. A lot of people think he shouldn't be a sleeper, but I would say right now he probably is a little bit more of a sleeper just because he played, at Bowling Green. But he was the most productive and best, in my opinion. I mean, he was the most complete productive tight end this year in college football. He's more productive than Tyler Warren. So, but yeah, he's definitely a good option.
Oh, Warren looks so good in that Big Ten championship game.
I'm telling you, he's freaking dominant, dude. He's dominant. And so yeah, another fan.
Did you hear Aller's going back?
Yes, yeah. So he'll probably be.
He'll be good for him. He'll probably be a decent prospect next year.
He's going to be a decent prospect next year. He's going to develop a little bit more. I like it.
Yep.
Find somebody that
lower on him.
that loves you like Aaron Rodgers loves Devontae. Those two looked vintage yesterday.
Okay, I'm not kidding though. On the sideline, did you see Aaron Rodgers literally like taking something out of his eye for him?
No. That's so cute.
Devontae was like, "Oh man, I like got something in my eye," and Rodgers like got up in his face and started like helping him out. I was like, "Those two,
hey, look,
have a bromance like no other."
We know this one, Dwayne McBride. How about that? We liked Dwayne McBride.
Hey, Dwayne.
Shows what we know. He's
Dwayne.
not on a roster, so
right.
But good to see you again. The Bushwhacker team here.
He
clearly
had no receiving upside. So
yeah, clearly the team of the draft here. I think, but
Charbonnet being your top cornerstone.
Yeah. 5 QBs in Superflex, Allen, Nix, and Stafford I'm keeping. Any chance to get value for Rodgers or AR? I think you'll get value out of both of them. A contender might pay you for Rodgers, but he might have to die on your roster. AR has value right now. He's like 5th round value. So where did he go in this draft?
Who? AR?
5th round, yeah. He's been going in the 5th round. Like, you've seen this pretty consistently. So I think if you wanted to get on Anthony Richardson, you don't believe in him, which you shouldn't, then, yeah. It's not. I don't think that's hot of a take, so.
No.
Yeah, I know what you're doing, Bajords. I tried to help you, but whoops. It's all right. Daniel Jackson from Minnesota will be good wide receiver at the next level. Amazing hands and great routes. You're speaking Ryan's language. Ryan lives in Minnesota. He's a big fan. Went to Minnesota, so he'll like that. But I honestly don't think he's on the bakery. Is Daniel Jackson on the bakery? Actually, he probably is.
What position?
Wide receiver. He's the Minnesota guy. Keep going. He would be down a little bit. Stop.
There you go.
Yep. So he's on there. So we're definitely got our eye on him.
23.5. He's a hybrid guy, slot wide.
What piece to package with Garrett to target to move up to the neighbors tier? I'll let you answer that. I'm not sure I'm doing that, but I'm curious what you think.
What would you package with Garrett to move up to the neighbors tier? I wouldn't. That sounds really bad. I'm sorry. I don't even know if I could stomach doing a second on top of Garrett for neighbors. Like, no. Don't do it. I'm not going to give you pieces to package with Garrett to do that because that's a move that I don't love doing right now.
Yeah.
Garrett's still been pretty productive. Speaking of, he's wide receiver 8 on the year. Devontae Adams is breathing down his neck right now on the season. Even with Devontae missing 3 games this year, he's wide receiver 13.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he's been very good.
Wherever Rodgers and Devontae go next year is going to be a very underrated fantasy duo, specifically for Devontae Adams' production next year in fantasy.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, G-Bull's wide receiver 8 on the year, 134 targets, 84 receptions, 933 yards. He'll have another 1,000-yard year. He's going to do exactly what he's been doing the last few seasons, but double the touchdowns.
Yeah. Any offseason buy low targets? There are a couple right now. We're gonna make a video here in the next couple of weeks with some buy lows for you. Would you drop Tillman for McMillan?
No,
I probably would hold. They're both good options. They're both good young, or good young players. What's going on with Downs? Why is he valued so low? I think people are just forgetting about him in this mock, right? I think that's why he got drafted so low here. But he ended up going in the 6th. So we'll see. But again, I think the reason that people are down on his value,
he's got one of the less favorable situations from an upside perspective too in fantasy. Whether they move on from Steichen and they go get a coach like Vrabel, whether they stick with him and they stick with AR, which they're going to have to inevitably. And you've got Jonathan Taylor there. Like, his red zone upside is very limited.
Yeah. In week 16, you're going with James Cook or Khalil Shakir for a flex spot. I would go Cook. Appreciate you, Booty Cup King, nonchalantly saying it. He's my boy. Booty Cup King's one of our boys. So, do you guys like Brandon Ayuk for the 2025 season? He's a good buy in Dynasty just because he's a value riser for sure next year. So, I would say yes. Like I do like him a fair amount. So, are you guys as afraid of Hunter's price as I am in this class? Going to be a hard avoid for me outside of an IDP league. Yeah, no, I am scared. It's just, again, he's just like the wild card of all wild cards, like a true wild card in Dynasty. We have literally no idea what's going to happen with his value and what position he's going to play even.
Who? Travis
Hunter, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We got 2.
Okay. We're almost done with this. So I'm torn, still a rebuilder in a 10-man shallow format, 1 QB. Do I trade Chase for Neighbors and a late first? 1 QB? No, I'm keeping Chase there. What do you think? He's a rebuild.
Probably.
I get it. Like, Chase has just been on another level.
I would stick with Chase in a 10-man shallow.
I think so too.
That's what I would do. The late first in a 10-man shallow league isn't really going to mean that much.
Yeah. No, I agree. DK is going to be the death of my playoff run. I'm so glad I did not trade for him. Do I start Christian Watson over him? No, you start DK still. Hendon Hooker if Goff dies. Maybe, yes. Week 13, Terry Swift in a 27-second from Mixon Ridley in 27 thirds, who won. I would take the Terry side, I think, there. Judy, what is he worth? I don't actually know what his value has jumped a lot.
Yeah, it's jumped quite a bit, but I think people are scared.
Yeah.
It hasn't jumped as high as I thought it could have.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He is same price as Mike Evans and Godwin and Shakir.
Yeah.
Still below Tank Dell, Worthy, Keon, Tracy, Kittle, Downs. He's still below Downs.
Are you paying the 26 first for Judy?
I'd rather pay like a late 25 first.
Yeah, I think that's probably about where he's going right now.
Is that like out of this world?
I don't think so. He's very lower than that on keep trade cut.
I mean, the guy's got contract insulation now.
He does.
The one thing I am worried about is it took a Jameis Winston 50 million pass attempts per game for him to finally show the upside that he has. And it makes you worry. Like, I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust Judy. It's that I don't trust Cleveland to figure out what to do at the quarterback position. If Deshaun is back and he's starting next year, Judy is screwed.
Yeah.
He is absolutely screwed. You don't have to look any further than what he was doing when Deshaun was on the field. He wasn't startable. He was barely flexible in fantasy formats. Like, he was kind of a last resort flex option. So you've seen Jameis do this in the past with a lot of different offenses and situations, is he elevates these guys and then he leaves and they're not going to start him next year. And Judy's going to see regression, but it's all... He's got one of the most uncertain futures, even with the contract insulation, that I think any guy that's not an old veteran in that range has. So,
and I agree with that. So Kirk is just, I mean, Kirk's been rough. That's just how it is. He's just been bad recently, but
been on like a historically bad run.
It's kind of crazy.
Last month.
I have Mixon and Henry as my hammers for the playoffs. What's the realistic outlook for those two the next couple weeks? They're both S-tier running backs for us the rest of the season. Mixon's been a little bit on the lower end recently. He's probably an A-tier back, but Henry's still very good. So the schedule's not going to really make a huge difference for me in that aspect. Mixon obviously has a tough matchup this week, but I think you got to hammer those guys like you said. Yeah. Shakir at the 8-12 is insane. Worthy picked over him. I think Shakir's a good value in Dynasty. I'm a big fan, but is Kendra still a good handcuff? I think he still is. Him and Vidal are on my drop list. Yeah, I mean, depending on your league depth, I mean, I think that's probably...
Shakir went to Boise State. That's funny.
Nice. Am I crazy for thinking of pivoting or down tiering from AJ this offseason?
It's got a nice little floor.
I was thinking of guys like BTJ or JSN. If you can do that, I'm fine doing that, yeah. Kincaid's going low. Yeah, he has done nothing this year. I mean, like, he really hasn't done anything. It's highly unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Where did he go? Yeah, and again, like, let's even just look at the production here. Like, I mean, 5 points against Detroit in a game again where it was an absolute shootout. Oh, sorry, that's standard. 9 points. But again, that's like been his ceiling this year. Like 13 points, like 11 points. It's just not good enough.
Laporta finally had a day.
Yeah.
See what Laporta did?
Yeah. He's kind of salvaged his year.
Salvaging his year.
Yeah.
He's starting to come back. Last 2 weeks, he's up 15, 10, and 18 points. Last 3 weeks, I mean.
Jeez. So, Yeah, it's kind of insane. But all right, let's pivot now since we are kind of getting to the end of this mock draft. Again, there are some questionable picks in here. I wouldn't take this as gospel, and hopefully Sleeper fixes this very soon. But let's jump over and do some team reviews.
Jennings.
So, yeah. We've got 2 team blueprints here we are going to do, and I'll drop the link if you want to get your team blueprint done. But obviously, we're going to talk strategy here. So if you want to hang around and talk strategy, definitely make sure you do that. But we are going to start with 2Yay, who got a team blueprint. And again, I'll drop the link. If you want your team reviewed tonight on the stream, your Dynasty team, you want to plan for your Dynasty team, you want to hear Nathan and I break down your Dynasty team live on the show, now's the time to do that. Just make sure you select the live blueprint option on the site. Go up here to the personal advice. Click on the team review. Link your sleeper team. You can use the My Teams page and such. And then get your team. When you select us, make sure you select live team blueprint. Team blueprint 1.0 is the first option. Live team blueprint is what gets it done right now. So, all right. Yeah, let's take a look at some Dynasty teams here. We got a good team here. I hear you saying, holy frick, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is almost an elite value.
He says,
look at his draft capital.
He says, feeling pretty comfortable here with one of my teams as they stand as of now. I have the 1-1, 1-2, 1-6 for this year and not much draft capital for next year. So you want to put that down. 3 early first this year, early mid first. Next year, he doesn't have his picks, though. So I may have moved too early on it, but wanted 27 capital for that classes, Ryan Williams, Smith, etc. I still want to do a video on that class. Dumb move, help a brother out. So it depends on what the so you moved your draft capital next year for some extra 27 stuff. So if you're watching 2Yay, which I'm assuming you are, he says start 10. I think I left it on 9. Plan on taking Genty and T-Mac. Hey, what did you trade for your 27 picks? Like, I want to hear that trade. And how many 27 picks do you have? I want your 27 draft capital as well. But clearly in the power rankings here, which is available for everybody on flockfantasy.com/domain, clearly on the power rankings here, you are killing everybody in this league. I mean, your team is 11-2, and let's go ahead and take a look and give you a team archetype here. So, Hurts, Purdy, and Rodgers, that's an 8, I think. In a 10 team, it's probably still an 8.
I went 7-8. We'll probably just go 8.
Bijan, Brees, Tyrone, Tracy, Braylon Allen, Benson. Bijan and Brees in a 10 team, regardless of your other running backs, is still an 8. Jefferson, Nakua, Nico, Marv, Tillman. Yeah, I mean,
with the upside of this format, that's a 10.
And then McBride, Kincaid.
That's a 10.
So this isn't an elite value
Kelsey
team. This is absolutely an elite value team. With his picks, yeah. Hey, he's got 3 early first. He should be dominant. You are dominating this league. Your record reflects it, but you should also, you should win this year and you should win for the next couple. So great job. It's an elite value. Contend. Honestly, it might be contend. You're not. I don't think this team's
with the insulation at the wide receiver position. I probably agree.
And the running backs are young. Like
right.
I think it's a contend all 3 years, so a little bit of a more special outlook for you here. We rarely give that one out. But let's kind of, look at your cornerstone assets here. Hurts and Purdy, Bijan and Brees, J. Jeff, Marv and Puka, Trey McBride. Like, you've got just a ton of them here. And then obviously we talked about your draft capital. So let's get into some moves you should make here for your team.
Because a ton of depth, we can pay up for another rushing QB.
Yep. So, and because this is a 10-team super flex, he did say it's a start 10. So it's a PPR league. So 2 rushing quarterbacks would give you the ultimate advantage here, and we've got enough capital to do that on this Dynasty team. So, we're going to probably just pivot off of Brock Purdy and go get a rushing QB. I think the most affordable guy in that range next to him is going to be Kyler Murray. Yeah. He'll have to up tier a little bit, but not as far as going to like a Jaden Daniels, a Lamar Jackson, something like that. Next, honestly,
Brees.
Yeah, I don't think you... Now, okay, and here's the thing about Brees, though. If Brees' value is as low as we just saw it, he might be a hold. You know what I'm saying?
If you had the opportunity to pivot off of Brees and get Devon Achane.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So maybe you can.
Even if it's, I'll just do Brees and Tracy.
And pivot to, and let's give him Achane as a target. Yeah. Maybe, and I still believe in Brees, but maybe, we give him Achane and we give him, you could try to get a Jahmyr Gibbs on this team too. You've got the value. I would say...
Oh, hey, let me just put this on here in the offseason because he'll be shorted because of the injury. Just go get Montgomery. Just go ahead and get him as a third option because you do have some depth concerns at running back beyond Bijan and Brees. So if you pivot off of Brees, you get a guy like Achane, and then you move a little bit of depth around and you go get a guy like Monty after the MCL tear. I would be making that move.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then let's just up tier from Sutton and Tillman.
Yeah, so I think you use Sutton, Tillman, guys who aren't going to touch your lineup. This is a start. He said it's a start 10.
You said start 10. Does that include kicker and defense?
We have it as an 8.
Because we've got an 8.
And so does the tool.
Yeah.
So does that include kicker and defense? Is that why it's reading as that? But regardless, it's a little bit more of a shallow league. It's only a start 80. So that's why we're using those depth pieces to kind of go get some better pieces there. You don't need well, and then again, we didn't even put on here. You've got to move probably Kincaid and Kelsey or both of them. You don't need those guys on here. Like,
shoot. Yeah,
go.
right.
I mean, that's probably more important than moving Sutton is moving those guys. You're
Probably
going to have more of a market.
Probably want to move Kincaid and Tillman. At this point, you can just stick with Kelsey as a backup potentially because he's not going to have a ton of value.
Yeah. And then, you put Monty on there. He's going to be a buy low because of injury now. But
Who's one of your favorite higher upside wide receivers that's being discounted right now?
Higher upside discount. AJ Brown comes to mind.
It's too high.
Okay.
For Tillman and Kincaid specifically.
Kincaid and Tillman. I mean, you could
buy low on Tyreek or
you put Tyreek and let him die on your roster.
Yeah. You have so much value. I would recommend doing that.
Yeah, let's just let Tyreek die, and if he goes off again next year, then you're in good shape. So
let Tyreek die.
Yeah, on your roster. I mean, not in general. All right, so that's where I would start with this team. And again, drop your specific trades in the comments of the Discord and tag us, or that's the best way. If you're not on the Discord, make sure you get in there. But obviously, my first suggestion would be. He actually, after seeing this team, I'm not upset he moved his 26 picks at all. Don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to move some of your 25 picks as well. You've got the team to do it. You don't need the value insulation necessarily there. Sold AJ Brown, Brian Robinson, and some minors to get McBride in 27 picks. Yeah, that was something you shouldn't have done for sure. But the thing is, your team is so good, it doesn't matter. I definitely wouldn't have made that trade. I'm definitely not trading for 27 picks because of the guys that are performing right now. If we looked at the guys in the 25 class who were performing 2 years ago, they've completely flipped. And not to say I think Ryan Williams is going to be great. I think Smith is going to be great. But I'm just very hesitant to trade for picks that far in advance because of the hype around a class. Again, you also have to talk about value. You got fleeced on that trade, unfortunately. But depending on how many 27, you have 3 firsts for 27. 2 of them will be top 5 picks. It's hard to know that this far in advance, but if that's true, then you probably didn't get killed on this trade. So that context does help me a little bit.
If you're entertaining a trade that doesn't objectively improve the production upside of your starting lineup, don't do it.
Yeah. You got Marv out of it as well. That's a huge piece to leave out. Then actually that was a good trade. That's like the biggest asset in your deal. So okay, good job.
And I will say this too. I mean, speaking of objectively raising the production upside of your starting lineup, even though you traded for Marv, which was a good deal, explore offers for Marv in the offseason and try for Puka Nacua. If you have Puka and JJ and Nico Collins on this team, you're winning for the next 3 years.
That's just how it is.
So
yeah, we will. This is a great team,
especially if you're targeting Kyler, because you don't want Kyler and Marv and McBride in your starting lineup every single week.
True.
So you probably want to shop Marv regardless.
Yeah. This is a fantastic team. You've done a very good job. Don't make any stupid trades. Don't rush any trades. Run the table here. You've got, again, look at this. You've got a much better team than everybody else in your league from a value standpoint, and you're 11-2. You should be winning this year and for years to come. We appreciate it, man. And again, I think there are still plenty of moves you can make here. The upside is more exaggerated even just because of your league settings. So we will send you your completed team blueprint over on the site here within the next 24 hours, but you'll get the copy of that as well. We obviously super appreciate it, but will you like upload that so I can pull it off of Recents so I can throw it up here and show them what it looks like? But yeah, we appreciate it, man. Let us know what questions you have in the Discord and things like that. So I did drop the link if you guys want it. I'll drop it again. If you guys want to get your team reviewed tonight, we only have one more in the queue right now after this, so we can guarantee that we would be able to review your team tonight. But we appreciate you too, yeah. So cool. All right. Let's answer a couple questions real quick. I'll let you read them if you've got them on your screen. So
Yeah, so this one is on here. My bad.
yeah, do it from yours because I got to use this.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So got a question from Not Goran. Said, what kind of value does Tracy hold? I picked him up off waivers right after the 2024 draft. Well, I'll tell you right now, according to Keep Trade Cut, which I don't agree with Tracy's value on Keep Trade Cut, they say he's valued around Kittle, CMC, Dak, Alvin Kamara, Keon, Tank Dell in a Superflex league. I don't think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get more guys that are like Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Cooper Kupp, sort of those fringe players that people don't really know what to do with, like Sutton, Charbonnet, Xavier Legette, James Conner, those types of guys. I would be shopping Tracy for any of those players. Start high, and then you can kind of work your way down and see what you're comfortable doing. But again, long term, do I trust Tracy? Not a bit. Not a bit.
Where is that at?
Where's what at?
I dropped the blueprint in and now it's covering everything. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to show you guys what you get when we do a team review like this for you. Because, we obviously do the team reviews and you don't get to see it, but team blueprint right there. So this is the team blueprint for 2Y's team above. It's got everything that we just talked about. And obviously you get to keep this so that you can kind of use this plan to keep going with your Dynasty team. So there's 2Y's rough draft blueprint. We have to go through and kind of finish it all. So, all right, let's talk about this next one here. This team review is going to be, it says 0 QB, which I doubt, but it's a 12-team, half PPR, non-time premium. And looking at the QB situation here, it might be a 1 QB. Let me know, Arcane, if you're in the comments. But yeah, here's somebody asked for the questions link. Here you go. There's the questions link. It'll show up in our feed right here and we can answer them. So I can't tell if this is Superflex. I think this probably is a Superflex. So I'm going to say Superflex 12-team start 8 half PPR. And so again, it's going to be a little bit more upside-based league, but it's the Goon Squad. Hey guys, so I just lost in round 1 of the playoffs to the squad, which was the highest scoring team in the league. It's
That's
freaking
tough, man.
brutal, man. I feel ya. Really want to try and win next year and make this a perennial contender. I had some tough injury luck. I overcame with some big-time trades, so trying to win. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's get started. Looking at the Goon Squad in the league power rankings here. This is based on our rankings. The domain rankings have you first in the league here by a pretty significant margin here. You got, it seems like these top two options are top 2 teams are very good here. Yeah, and so both of these look like solid teams, but again, it's a 12-team start 8, and you can confirm that it is a super flex for me. But we'll grade it as a super flex. It looks like
It's 1 QB.
It is a 1 QB.
12
okay.
team, start 8, 1 QB.
Good. I'm glad we have that. All right. Well, let's grade it. He's got Kyler and Darnold then, so that's a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kyler. That's what we want. Although Kyler's not been good recently, but running back, you've got Gibbs, Taylor, Bijan, Pollard.
Gives Taylor
Rob. Sorry, Pollard. That's like
It's a 7.
It's probably
because it's a start 8, so
yeah,
a little bit higher upside.
It is a 12-team though. Yeah, I mean it's a 7 or an 8. Chase, Brown, Thomas, Downs, Waddle, Jennings. That's solid. That's an 8, I think.
Yeah.
And a 12-team, yeah. And then
Jokin Craft is a 5.
Yep, that's a 5. So solid team here. I would probably say wide receiver factory for this one.
Yeah, it's a lot of wide receivers with a lot of value.
Yeah. Let's go wide receiver factory, contend, reload. It looks like you're missing your 25 picks, but you have your 26 picks. So
you got an extra 25 third.
Oh, he has an extra third. Well, in that case.
Right.
But it looks like a good enough team. It looks like you made some contending moves, which I totally understand. So definitely this team's going to contend again next year, and we'll give you some moves to make sure you really shore this team up. Make sure it's like you want it to be a perennial contender in your dynasty leagues. So let's see.
Not great.
The depth isn't there really, but it is a start 8.
Rob and
so
Pollard are your best.
It's a start 96. So
right. It's actually okay. It's Pollard, B. Rob, Downs, and Jennings.
That's actually good depth,
which is fine. Yeah.
All right. So any moves jump off the page right away?
Yeah. So
One of the tight ends.
I want to get a little more consistency here. I think one of the biggest things that you were faced with this season is some inconsistency and lack of upside with Jalen Waddle and Josh Downs specifically. And then BTJ obviously is just going to be inconsistent as a wide receiver. You were playing with house money with him this year. He was a big reason that you were so productive. But JT, not consistent either. B. Robin Pollard, not reliable. Jamar Chase took a while to come on. So I think I'm going to have you move Waddle and Downs. Specifically Waddle. I just want to get consistency. If I were to move Waddle for a guy in that range, I'm looking at guys like Chris Olave, who I think has a decent outlook next season. I'm looking at probably DJ Moore. Honestly, DJ Moore is probably my favorite target there because his outlook is, in my opinion, a bit more stable than Waddle's, and they're only a year apart, which is crazy.
Hey, Hummels, I'll help you submit so we can get it done on the next live stream. So
DJ Moore is going to be one of the targets that I have for you here.
yeah, I like DJ for
You're
this team
going to be
a
contending
lot.
next year too.
Yes.
And then let's move B-Rob or Pollard. Maybe B-Rob and Pollard. Would you package those guys in up tier? Would you feel comfortable with that? He doesn't have a lot of draft capital this year.
I mean, I'm fine up to.
Let's do this. Let's roll the dice. Let's move B-Rob and Pollard, and let's go get rookie picks.
All right. We get some value
Let's just get
insulation
some
here.
safer long-term value insulation.
Because again, we can move those rookie picks or those rookies if they're not going to help you contend to get where you need to be contending wise.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, do you move one of the tight ends? Do you have that down already?
Mm-mm.
Definitely want to do that for another position.
I'll put that in the suggestions and comments. If you can package your tight ends and get an elite one.
Yeah.
All right, capitalize on the opportunity. We've got one more guy that we need him to move. Guys I'm eyeing are JT, AJ Brown.
Again, what's JT's value right now?
It hasn't moved a ton. It's kind of where it's been.
I'm not a huge proponent of selling JT at the moment. I don't think
It's fallen a little bit.
he's fallen. So Brown is fine, but he's also, a decent value.
Would you down tier from
No,
Gibbs?
AJ's a good.
Would you down tier from Gibbs to Achan?
No, I think I like Gibbs on this team in this format.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think does he need a down tier? Does he need a down tier? Like, do we need to give him a down tier?
You didn't have to down tier. His depth is fine.
Yeah. And
could have
again,
him move-
depth isn't as important.
Could have him move downs for higher upside.
Yeah, let's maybe do that. That's the one I'm most comfortable with so far.
Or you can just pivot off BCJ. But honestly, I'd probably rather just stick with him on this team. Pair him with Chase.
You can move downs for Ayuk.
Yes.
Or if not Ayuk, some other. Christian McCaffrey's a good target in that range. Keon Coleman I like in that range. You'd be a little bit of a down tier there, honestly. Terry McLaurin I like in that range. You got DJ Moore in that range as well.
Yeah, so DJ Moore we already have as a
Yeah.
target. Ayuk will be on here, and then we'll give you another running back target here.
I would say for running back, give him a veteran.
Yeah. McCaffrey is...
Yeah, I think CMC is a good target.
McCaffrey's
right
a guy that we haven't really been able to figure out what his real value is right now in Dynasty, so just shop around, see what you can get.
Yeah.
Or see what you can...
I think for all of you, we had
for
a buy low. Hey, will you have any buy lows for us? Like, I think Chris McCaffrey's going to be on that video once we release it the first week of January. So,
yes,
I would definitely be ready for that. But he's just the upside is too great for him to be going at the price where he's going. So, and it's just recency bias galore right now with Christian McCaffrey. So, I would just put in the suggestions and comments here. Upside's gonna be a little bit more important in a start 96, you're going to have to highlight upside a little bit. So don't be afraid to up tier where you can. But again, like from a value standpoint, when you're looking at this, like you still have the top team in your league according to the rankings. So the rankings aren't the end all be all, but when I'm looking at some of the other teams here, I like your team better than this one. You got a more well-rounded team. This guy's got, top heavy wide receivers. I like your team better than that one. This is a solid team in my opinion. But this is a well-built team. And again, it's a team that's going to be contending next year, and that's what you want. In terms of perennial contender, like I said, insulate your value a little bit, maybe do some up tiers, but holding guys like this that have contracts, that young guys on contracts that have good insulation, that are in decent situations. I love Jamar Chase and Jahmyr Gibbs because they're elite players and very good offenses. Yeah. So, like, that's really what I'm going for here. So, yeah, really good job building this team, my friend. But do we need anything else there?
No.
That it?
Yep.
All right. Again, wide receiver factory knocking it out. Appreciate you, Arcane. All right, we are officially through our queue, so we'll do a last call here. If you want to get your, that's the questions link. If you want your team reviewed, let us know. We can review it. We can stay on and review it for you. But if we're not, then we can keep answering some questions, do some other stuff, and then, hang out. So pull the comments back up here. I'm way behind now. You guys are having a conversation about somebody. Would you guys hold Kincaid in a 2-point PPR league or sell low? I don't know. So Hummel says hold. 26 breakout is with after Knox is gone. That's very possible. That's very possible. I think he's probably more of a hold again. He's going like the 9th, 10th round right now. So it just depends. If somebody wants to overpay for Kincaid, I think you can do it, but can you actually overpay for Kincaid? I don't know. I don't know if somebody's actually going to do that. So, let's see. What other questions you guys have? You can drop them in here. I'm trying to look. Seeing what Josh Allen is doing is making me not want to down tier. So we probably gave him a down tier option on a blueprint. What do you think of that? I mean, I don't think you have to down tier if you don't need to. A lot of times the down tiers are recommended because people need to down tier.
Yeah, if you're like a reload or a hard rebuild or something like that, you can go ahead and just try to sell them as high as you possibly can for a decent down tier. But again, if you're not comfortable doing it right now, that's totally fine. He's been ridiculous. He scored 100 points almost in the last 2 weeks combined. So
any method of getting a team review that isn't $79, although I'm a college dude, we understand that for sure. Unfortunately, we don't make the prices on the site, but you do. It is significantly cheaper when you're a domain MotherFlocker. You could one of the cheapest ways you could do it is get the monthly membership with code domain, and then it's like $25 less. Now, so you'd save $10 that way after doing the monthly membership and then the review. You could do an annual membership and then get a free one. That's a little bit more bang for your buck, but no, I totally understand. That's a hard one for broke college kids. That's which I was once and he was once. So we feel you, my friend. I tried to get Njoku and a second, and for Kincaid in a third and got rejected. Yeah, I know. Nobody's doing that. Kincaid and Njoku's going to be valued over Kincaid. So. Yeah, and well, this is true. With Josh Allen, nobody's going to pay what he's actually worth. But how much is he actually worth? What are those top-end assets actually worth in Dynasty? That's definitely a conversation that's worth having. One that we'll probably get into a little bit this offseason. So. But it is an interesting one. Now, I will show you guys a little bit of this, and I kind of want your feedback. So let me know. But I was showing you a little bit of this earlier. And this is the bakery. This is the prospect model with all the data in it, and the running back scores for all of these prospects that you could possibly need. This is again an algorithm that was built tirelessly by our boy Ryan. Ryan did a fantastic job with this, and it's very, very accurate. Is this something you guys would like to see available with a membership on the site? Is this something you guys would like to have access to? Bye, Anna. See you later. I mean, honestly, we use it a lot again, but like you can obviously see the historical stuff here. Last year's class, obviously, there's not near as many good guys in last year's class. The Bijan Gibbs class, we had Achan third here, Charbonnet up here as well. Obviously, both of those guys we were very high on 2022. Obviously, you've got some guys in here that Isaiah Spiller didn't end up doing anything, but So I think when you're looking at the all-time rankings, though, you can really see kind of the validity of what Ryan has built here. Bijan, Genty, Barkley, Gabe Johnson, JT, ETN, Gibbs, Breece Hall, Chris McCaffrey. I mean, so like it's doing what it should be doing. We are thinking very heavily about making this available to you guys. So you can let me know. So, but very much appreciate Ryan in the bakery. But I just saw a question I wanted to answer. Oh, Joe paid heavy for Allen and made the playoffs in the Flock League. That's true. That's very true. You guys do a tight end and QB rankings like you did for wide receiver and running back. Sure, we could do that. Eventually, yeah, we'll do that in a week, like here in the next couple weeks sometimes. Let's see. Ryan did bake it cook. That's true. DJ Moore or Myers for start tonight. Oof. More?
I go more.
It's close though.
I don't trust Ritter for a second.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a very good point. Tight end plus rankings on Flock would help a lot. I mean, they're going to be pretty much the same as our rankings on there now because our rankings are tight end premium rankings.
Yeah.
We rank tight end premium. So tight end premium plus is the same as tight end premium plus.
Yep.
Now the overall rankings are different, but again, like we do play only tight end premium leagues. Only for running backs, or will there be wide receivers, tight ends, and quarterbacks? We have wide receivers and tight ends as well. So, what do we do with Jordan Addison right now? Jeez, man.
Probably, I would hold through the end of the season, and then we can reevaluate his price.
Yeah.
He was a big time hold. Like, do not sell when he was plummeting down rankings, but now he's starting to slowly rise. But it's slow enough where I'm like, he's not quite at his peak value yet.
Yeah.
So let's see where he goes.
Yes. Older teams have time success to have higher investments. Yes. New leagues after startup should be pretty close, and that's very true. If it's not, you had something wrong with your draft. Only reason I lean more is try to cancel out Caleb. That's honestly not a bad strategy. I think it's more either way there. So. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're probably going to go record some more videos for you. So we should have 2 videos this week. I think we're going to record 2 tonight. And we should be releasing our running back rankings, rookie running back rankings here very soon. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. But we're probably going to call it there. So, all right, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you drop a like before you leave. But we'll see you this week on the videos, and we'll see you in the Discord as well. So hop over there. We'll do a members-only Domain MotherFlocker Q&A this week again. So if you want access to that, like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.